To be or not to be. To be or not to be. Good evening, everybody. My name is Lazaro Gomez. This is Baten Art, and you are tuned in to the Friday Night Live Stream. Yay! Friday Night Live Stream! So, what's up, everybody? Yeah, it's been a wild, wild week full of action packed adventure. Actually, no, not really. What I did is I took a week off from my regular job and basically spent some time with the family. And last Friday we went to the theme parks and we kind of spent some time there. And dude, it is crazy. It's crazy because we were walking around in the theme parks and it was so hot. It was so hot. It's of course the summertime here in Florida. Very humid, very hot. We were hoping that it would be overcast and that it would rain, but it did not. So for it made for a very hot evening or hot day at the theme parks. But we had fun, you know. Nevertheless, we had fun. It was a nice little distraction that I needed to kind of break away, and so you know, it was cool. But at the same time, you know, I kept kind of keeping track on emails and stuff like that, and and then the commissions, you know, they started coming in. So, you know, at first it was like, okay, cool, you know, we got some commissions, and just keep adding to the list. And then after a while, it was like, all right, this is not funny. So, of course, the commission honeydew list got bigger and bigger and bigger. So I got some custom pops that came in the mail, and I am waiting for a few more that have come in. So hopefully I'll be able to show some of that. One of them, I believe, I'm sorry, two of them are a private commission, but I'm really excited to really jump into these because the previous pop that I did for a friend of mine, Ashley, she hired me to create a custom pop for a gentleman that lives in the UK. So I was really excited about that because it was the first time that I used my 3D printer to add parts to these custom pops that I'm doing. So I was happy about that. Um, and these other commissions that are coming up, it requires a lot more pieces. So one of them is kind of like a spaceman, um, for lack of a better term. I mean, he does have a name, and I'm purposely keeping that private. But imagine a spaceman with a spacesuit and stuff like that, and he's got certain parts that I'm going to be 3D printing and adding on to that pop. So I'm looking forward to doing a lot more of that. Of course, now that I got the 3D printer into the pipeline, um, I'm starting to get 3D printed jobs. Like, hey, I need this part, I need that part, I need a full piece, I need a full prop, and things like that. So, um, my 3D printer, the Anet A8, which I lovingly call Saturday, is fitting in nice. It's fitting in nice. So while I'm doing commissions and doing other things, she's printing away and getting jobs done. So I'm happy about that. Uh, Believe it or not, I dug out some sketchbooks, you know, and I have done some doodles and things like that. Some artwork that I'm kind of tooling around with and playing around with, and I'm really excited to go back to actually creating artwork and stuff like that because I've been doing props and I've been doing a lot of commissions, and it's a nice little break. Of course, I got my I got my Gundam model kit, so I built these tiny little chibi looking Gundam kits that I truly enjoy. They run anywhere from like $5 to $7 or something like that. But it's always been my hobby ever since I was a kid to build model kits. And every time I bring this one down and I'm like, okay, this is the week, I'm gonna work on it. I'm so excited, and no, we gotta wait. We gotta wait. But of course, it's not a bad thing. It's always great to be busy because, especially, I like to think that, you know, the busier I am, then the better off I am, because I'm always learning, I'm always doing something new, I'm always facing new challenges, and it's always good to be busy because you learn how to overcome those sort of things. So I'm excited about that. I will get to that model eventually, and I don't know. I don't know if that's something that you guys want to see on the live stream or not. It'd be kind of cool. Just leave me a comment and tell me what you think about it. Maybe we could just spend an evening building that, because even as rudimentary and as simple as that model is, um, there's still a lot that goes into it, because you could glue the pieces together, you could sand them down, there's some putty that goes along with those kits, and then of course sitting there and meticulously painting each piece, and making all the lines, and then adding the damage, the battle damage, and all that stuff that makes those model kits so much fun to build, and they look so freaking cool once they're done. But yeah, so actually, I could, if you guys are interested in these model kits, there's a website that I go to, and I might put a link in the description of the video down below in case you guys are interested in that sort of stuff. But for me, it's of course robots. I love robots. It's the reason why I named the company Bot 10, because um, I don't know. Growing up, it was always that. It was Gundam. It was, Voltron, and all of these different robots that I was into. Iron Giant, of course, and I just love building those kinds of things, and I keep them around, and I look at them, and I kind of get inspiration from them from time to time. But it's more of a hobby for me. So tonight, I'll before I forget, I do want to say thank you for all the new subscribers. We do have some new subscribers to the page or to the channel, and that's actually really, really cool. If you're new and you're watching right now, I encourage you to subscribe, and that way you get notifications as to when I go live or when I upload a video onto my channel. Just to kind of recap a little bit, last week we skipped the live stream because, of course, I was spending time with my family. But I did upload a tutorial video for the wand, the Star versus the Forces of Evil wand that I did, and that's up. It's up on Instructables, and it's also here on the YouTube channel in case you want to build your own, and you can see how I built mine. So with that said, we got a lot going on. I'm kind of freaking out, and I'm happy at the same time, because for a long, long time, this, along with the Batman action figure for Will, I finally finished that. And it's been, the Batman has been kind of hanging around the the office right here. And of course, the custom Stormtrooper helmet has been sitting idle right here, and I stare at it every day. But of course, this is the Fight Against Cancer Stormtrooper Battle Damage helmet that I am doing for my friend Chris. And I hope he's watching tonight so that he can see that I am actually working on it. And, again, it's those kinds of things that when it comes to doing the stuff that we do, um, we have different kinds of commissions. So some have real strict deadlines. Others just kind of walk up to me and say, "Hey, man, I would love for you to do something for me. Just whenever you get it done, it's cool with me." And I feel completely horrible because Chris gave me this, I want to say about a year ago. It might be more. It might be more, but at first I kind of struggled with the idea of what I wanted the Stormtrooper to be, and what I wanted it to look like, and stuff like that. So I came up with the idea of just having the battle damage on the Stormtrooper helmet, because not only is he a big Star Wars fan, but his entire family is a big Star Wars fan. So his mom loves Star Wars, him, his brothers, everybody. And she is a cancer survivor. So I thought it was gonna be a really nice gift if he can give her helmet, as if like this was her helmet. and she's wearing it while she's battling cancer and stuff like that. So thankfully she survived, and they are a good, a good friend to the family. We're really, really close. I consider them like my brothers. We have cookouts and fun times, and we hang out all kinds of different places. And so I'm nervous, or kind of freaking out to do this piece, as simple as it is, because I just want it to be perfect. I want it to be something that that she'll look at, and she'll keep somewhere in her desk, and kind of remind her of how strong she is, and how awesome her son is to create, have me create something so cool like this to give to her. So so yeah, I'm happy that I'm working on it. I'll be working on this and hopefully finish it this weekend. And I just, we got the idea. It's flowing nicely, and I just want to continue working on it. So just to talk a little bit about it, and before I do, I just noticed I don't have my chat on. So let me turn on my chat just in case if anybody has tried to write some stuff. Give me just 1 second, and I'll go ahead and set this up, and then we'll talk about the Stormtrooper, because I was going to work on it tonight, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to talk more about how I got this done, and where you can get yours and all that good stuff. So just give me 1 second. 1 second so I can set up the chat. Let's see. Where are we? Live stream. Stream now. Okay, here we go. There it is. And let's see, pop out the chat. Okay, hey. You see? I knew I was missing people. So who do we have? Trace, Leanne, and Brian. Welcome, welcome. I trust you guys had a wonderful time, and Trace and I have been kind of talking a little bit back and forth, but yeah, it was 2 weeks ago that I saw you guys at MegaCon. So I'm extremely proud of you guys. Let me be the first to say that I'm extremely proud of you guys, because you've accomplished something that could be very difficult for artists, especially going from just a small con to this huge elaborate setup and all kinds of crazy stuff. But I feel like you guys have learned a lot, and you're kind of, those wheels are turning in your head, and you know what to do next time. So let me be the first to say that I'm very proud of you guys, and it was such a pleasure to see you guys there. And of course, I got artwork from you guys. so thank you very much for that. Let's see. Have I seen the new Voltron? I have not. I have not seen the new Voltron. I think, I want to say I saw some kind of advertisement or some kind of trailer for the Voltron cartoons, but no, I have not. Growing up, it was Voltron, Transformers, GoBots. Even though GoBots were kind of like, it lasted for about a year and it was gone. But I did enjoy a lot of the Japanese cartoons. And the Japanese cartoons at that time, during the 80s and stuff like that, had a lot of robots and things like that. So later on, of course, you get into anime, and I'm a huge fan of Neon Genesis Evangelion. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that or not, but it's one of my favorite animes, and just the Eva units alone were so awesome, and kind of seeing Pacific Rim gave me that memory, or brought that memory back. But yeah, so I'm into robots, of course. So, the new Voltron is so good. Cool, I gotta check it out. Is it on Netflix or anything? Like, what provider is bringing that? Is that Hulu, Netflix? What is it on? Probably Cartoon Network, maybe? I don't know. I don't know who would do it, but show us the Gundam. Oh, it's on Netflix? Okay, so yeah, there you go. So when I'm building stuff or doing my commissions, I will definitely check out the new Voltron. So yeah. All 3 seasons are okay, so all 3 seasons are there. Cool. I'll definitely check it out. You want to see You want to see the Gundam, or you want to see me building a Gundam? Because I can show you the Gundam. Um, these little kits, are really cool. And I'm not a huge fan of the snap on or snap together. Like, I can't stand those because literally you open the box 2 minutes later, you build whatever you built. And I get it; they're trying to do like a they're trying to simplify things and make things easier for you, but it kind of defeats the purpose of buying one of these and building it. All right. So let me see. Building a live stream. All right. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. And again, if you're interested in these, um, you might want to polish up on your Japanese because not only do they give you a really cool comic right there, but they do have all the instructions so that you can build your super awesome Gundam, but it's all in Japanese. So there you go. You're going to have to brush up on that Japanese. And the parts that come in it are already pre-painted, or I shouldn't say painted. They're actually molded. These are injection molds, so they're actually injected with the PLA plastic that the characters are supposed to have. So this is a Gundam that has, you know, red, yellow, some dark color, and white. So all of that is included, and I'm really looking forward to building this thing. It does have stickers for eyes and stuff like that, but I think the eyes are a little too chibi, so I probably won't be adding the stickers. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll play it by ear. But yeah, if you want to see me build this during a live stream, I'll be more than happy to do it. And we could build our own Gundam. Build Burning Gundam. There it is. So you can see all, you know, it has like real, like super, super chibi eyes. And I don't know. Like, I like the fact that they're tiny and that, you know, they have a certain kind of cuteness, even though they look, you know, badass. But I don't know. A little too much chibi might send it over the top. I don't know yet. But yeah, so now that I got my chat open, we can kind of talk a little bit about the Stormtrooper helmet. So these Stormtrooper helmets, very much just like the Funko DIY pops. They're pretty much everywhere. I found most of them in Walgreens. I think Walgreens had them for a while. I want to say Walmart had them for a while. I don't know exactly, so don't quote me on that. But anyways, they come white and they have some kind of primer on them or whatnot. But this is ABS plastic, and so it's a little bit softer plastic. You know, it's not completely malleable, but you could kind of deform them and stuff like that using heat. As a matter of fact, I started using the original Sculpey to design all these broken cracks and stuff like that, and to do the ribbon on the helmet, because that was kind of the idea, to where she was, you know, so battle damaged that when she survived, it showed the reason why. You know, it's basically like the ribbon is like the power of you know, her battle against cancer. So so I used original Sculpey on the actual helmet, and when I put it into the oven, I was kind of going based off of the instructions that were on the original Sculpey. And on the box it says, you know, for every 1/4 inch you put it in the oven for 15 minutes at 270 degrees. So I went ahead and did that. I had all the modeling the way that I wanted to. That's probably the biggest use of the original Sculpey, of course, besides the head. But I used some right there along the face, right here in the front grill, and then of course on the top. So once I put this in the oven, I knew it didn't have a lot of clay, so it didn't have to bake for a long time, but I did put it in for 15 minutes. And when I got back, the bottom part, that goes here actually popped off. It popped off. This helmet was real like fat. It looked like a balloon. It looked like a balloon, and of course you can imagine the sheer terror that went through my mind. At the same time, this incredible laughter. So I was like, I pulled it out. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe it. I gotta buy another one. I completely destroyed this one, but it looks hilarious. So if you ever seen the really big black bomb bird from Angry Birds, like this thing looked just like it. It looked crazy. So then I was like, "Oh my god, I destroyed the helmet. I can't believe this. Let's take it out. Let's take it out of the oven. Let's see what happens." And then I set it down on a cool surface, and it started basically shrinking down. Oh hey, what's happening, Steve? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. So, anyways, I set it down. It started coming back down. It started shrinking. So, it was literally there was no detail in the helmet because it had all stretched out. It had, like this curve right here. It was completely smooth. It was completely smooth because it had blown up so much, and it was only in the oven for 15 minutes. But the problem is that the box doesn't have any instructions on on how long it can go in the oven or any of that stuff. So I was kind of guessing at it. I was really guessing as to how long it could be in there. So I put it again, like I said, I put it on a cold surface, room temperature. It started coming down, coming down, coming down, and then very carefully with my hands, I started pushing it back in. Kind of putting the form back together, and luckily, thankfully, it went back to its original shape. So I was really really happy. We didn't lose any detail. A little bit right here is still puffed up, but I'm okay with that. Um, I'm okay with that. It actually survived. So if you're doing one of these, you need to kind of keep in mind that if it goes in the oven, you might want to take this plug out and not leave it in there for as long as I did. Maybe, maybe 5, 10 minutes or something like that. But if you're using original Scopy, I recommend that you use the boiling method. So, basically have a pot of boiling water, and then you can kind of dip it all in there, leave it for about 5 minutes, and then take it out. That's going to be a lot better than you sticking this thing in the oven for any amount of time. So, once I had the helmet, it was out of the oven, and I was ready to work on it. I took it outside and I gave it a primer. And when I did, the day I was painting, it was really, really humid outside. The weather wasn't really cooperating very much. So this helmet stayed wet for a very long time. And I just had it, just sitting in the background, kind of always there. And I'm looking at it, I'm doing other commissions, and I'm like, man, I really got to get to this helmet. I really got to get to this helmet. I really got to get to this helmet. Um, and so finally, I got past the commission that I was working on, the pop commission that was eating up a good bit of time, and it was a time crunch. I only had like a couple of days to work on it. But once I got that done, I immediately finished the Batman and then jumped onto this. So here it is. It has one coat of primer, and then I used a basically like a light pink spray paint, and I spray painted it, and that took a little while, of course, to dry as well because of the humidity down here, and it was kind of funky because here in Central Florida we've had so much rain and so much uh, just moisture in the air that anything you spray outside is gonna stay wet for a long time. So I let that dry. Finally, finally it dried, and I started painting the helmet. And for the helmet, I mixed these two real chippy acrylics. If you guys remember from previous vlogs, I've used these in the past for a lot of things. In fact, the Batman was painted with these and a couple other things. So I mixed these two colors to kind of give us this mauve looking color that's on the helmet. And from there, I let that dry, and then I put a coat of clear coat on it to kind of protect the paint job. I still have to go in and do some of the details. On Instagram, you guys saw some photos of some masking that I had done, but I still missed a couple of spots here and there where the tape kind of came off a little bit while I was painting, and it left what I like to call some artifacting. So there was some artifacts left behind that I have to still kind of cover up and continue painting with it. But overall, it's a really neat little thing to paint. And I do have other helmets for myself. I plan on doing a Finn helmet and a Captain Phasma, and it's the modern Stormtrooper helmets. This one's of course the original or classic '77 Star Wars helmet. So those are things to keep in the back of your mind. Don't stick it in the oven for a long time, because if not, you can have a balloon in your hands. Be cautious of what kind of paints you use and how you use them, and where you dry the helmet. But yeah, so from there, of course, I moved on, and I was gonna go with the traditional black and gray colors for this section. Of course, the grill or the mouth and the eyes or the visor. I was gonna go with the traditional black and gray, but I kind of felt like the pink and the black and gray were gonna clash a little bit. So I decided to go with the Tester's Gold paint. This is, of course, model paint that's used for cars and all kinds of stuff, but I really liked it when I used it on the ice cream truck. Steve, this is what I used on the ice cream truck. So so I liked the color. I liked the fact that it gleamed, and I kind of took a chance on it. I took a risk, but it turned out pretty cool, I think. I like it, and hopefully Chris likes it too, and his mom likes it. But it kind of it's that little extra pop, It's that little extra pop that I enjoyed adding to the Stormtrooper helmet. Of course, moving forward, we're gonna finish this up, because this is just the basic coat. This is the first coat, and as you can see right here, I haven't completed the paint job here and back here. So we'll be filling that in with the pink ribbon, for of course for cancer. So once that's done, and I have a little spot right there that needs to be like that. So I have one more piece to paint gold, and once all that's done, of course, I'm gonna finish painting the ribbon on the top, and then I can start moving on to the actual damage. So building this thing, believe it or not, that's actually I guess the challenge that I'm facing. So that's the actual challenge that I'm facing building this thing, is how am I going to add that battle damage detail. So I was thinking of blaster marks and stuff like that. So blaster marks are dark. You never, like, nothing in nature or nothing in the natural world is ever like 100% pure black. There's no such thing as 100% pure black. So when you look at blaster burns, you have that dark color, you have that ashy kind of color, you have some browns and reds and stuff like that are in that. So I'm kind of thinking of doing the same thing. So the deeper gouges and stuff like that, of course, will be dark, and then the light color on the top. And once that's all done, then we're gonna weather this thing. We're gonna make this look battle worn. So of course I'll give it a clearer coat once it's all said and done, and then I will mix some oil paints and kind of really really get it grimy and dirty, and get the paint inside all of these recessed areas that'll give it a lot of character, and then wipe it away using a towel. But for this sort of stuff, you got to use like a mop brush or a thick, thick heavy brush, and kind of go over it and mess it up, and then clean it up and rub off as much as you can. And then once it's all said and done, um, it'll actually tone down some of the gold that I painted. And I'm hoping that that's what I'm hoping that's what happens. I'm hoping that that's what will make the helmet have its character, and then of course put it in a case. Maybe have some kind of mount or display or something that we could put in a nice little case, and then give it to my friend Chris so that he can give it to his mom. And I'm cool with that. I'll be very happy once she has this helmet, and I'm hoping that she's happy with it as well. So, but yeah. So this one, I have I want to show the other helmet, but it's like way up there. I don't have my step ladder. But yeah, the new helmets are really really cool, and I'm excited to get to those. Eventually, I'll get to it. But yeah, this turned out to be a really neat job, and I'm happy with the paint job so far. Um, Once I give this a clear coat of glossy clear coat, it'll really come to life once it's all said and done. But yeah, so there it is in all its glory. A custom Stormtrooper helmet. So I don't know if any of you have done something like this. If you have, send me some pictures or video or anything like that. That way I can see it. And I can, show it off. Steve, I know that I know that you saw me give Will his Batman, and it was really cool to see his face. Of course, it's that Batman that I have there. I turned it into Will, and his eyes were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this is the same figure." And I know that Steve is working on his Batman, because we are in a friendly duel. And I kind of dropped a little hint as to what my Batman's gonna be. So I'm curious, how far have you gotten? Have you gotten further along than the last time we talked, or are you still busy with custom Hot Wheels and stuff? If you have anything that you can post, put it on the chat or put it on the comments. That way everybody could see it and go to your page and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we are in a friendly debate, or a friendly battle, to do this Batman. And of course, I will not be showing mine because it is top secret. It is top secret. But yeah, it's really cool. If you collect all six of the figures, you get to build Doomsday. So right down here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but right there is the head of Doomsday. And then if you collect the rest of the figures, each one comes with a different part, and you can build Doomsday. But mine, I already told Steve, I dropped a little hint. I gave him a little hint. Yeah, we're going way back in history on my Batman, and it's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be cool, and I'm curious to see. So Steve, you gotta show me something, man. Show me something. I want to see where you're at with your Batman. You know what I mean? I want to see where you're at with that. So yeah, like I said, for tonight, we were just kind of talking shop, and we're talking about different kinds of paints and stuff like that for these helmets that you can pretty much get anywhere. I'm trying to think. I mean, it does have the Lucasfilm trademark. Of course, it's made in China, but I don't know the company who makes these. I don't know. Actually, Let me see, because I did make one of these for myself, which is the Shadow Stormtrooper, and I haven't finished painting it, but maybe I can find out where that's from. Hang tight. Hang tight. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. So I do have to finish. Actually, I might have to clean it up just a little bit. Where I was storing it got a little dusty. But as you can see, it is the same helmet, and this is my Shadow Stormtrooper. So this needs some silver trim here and here and here, along with here, and basically basically the same color configuration except for the front for the Shadow Stormtrooper. And I was actually thinking of popping out the bottom and perhaps changing changing this, but I would have to vacuum form it and then cut out the plastic. That way I could light it up, because I know that their eyes light up green, so that'd be kind of cool to have that. But so this is all right. I got this one because this one's for me, but I got this one at Kohl's. I got it at Kohl's and it was like 14 bucks. But I think it was on sale. It must have been on sale. It was like eight something. I don't remember paying 14 bucks for it. But these are made by Tara Toys. So if you're familiar with Tara, they're a toy company based out of New York. And they actually have their, okay, so it's taratoys.com, and not a sponsor. And their address is 40 Adams Avenue in New York. So these come from New York. I guess they got a Star Wars license and they're able to produce these little helmets and stuff like that. But I just think they're so cool. I don't know the exact scale of them. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's going to be yelling at the top of their lung the scale, but I really don't know the scale of these. But this looks like it is, this might be a product from Disney. Yeah, actually, I do see the Disney logo. Contains one vinyl Stormtrooper head, 5 markers, 1 sticker set, and 1 stencil. I threw all of that away. I threw all of that away because it's kind of like, don't tell me how to make this. Don't tell me how to make this, because I want to make it my way. And so, and so, of course, I'm sure I got rid of all of those little stickers and stuff like that. But yeah, so, you know, you can find these anywhere. You could customize them however you want. I've actually seen on Pinterest and Instagram and a few other websites where people really customize these in a neat way. I've seen where they change the helmet to Boba Fett's helmet. I've seen where they change it to Mario, to like all kinds of really interesting things. Of course, there's a book that came out that it was like during that whole like zombie phase where Marvel started doing zombies and things like that. So there was a Stormtrooper book that dealt with zombies. And originally I was going to make this into that. I was going to turn this into a zombie Stormtrooper, but then I was like, I do want a Shadow Trooper, and that's what it became. So I'm going to have to find another one, and that'll be my zombie helmet. And I'll keep that one somewhere here, I guess, right next to my Shadow one. And my new ones from the new films. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? I don't think there's anything else for these. Oh, I used a particular kind of tape. You could use painter's tape when you're masking out this sort of stuff, but you have to be careful because painter's tape, which is the blue one, actually has different levels of stickiness. So there's some tape that will not stick at all, and then you have some that will stick way too much. So if you paint an area and you have the tape that sticks way too much, and you mask it and you paint the other side, when you peel this off, you're going to have to paint it again because it'll just peel the paint right off. So this one here is original sticklet. That's what it's called. It's STIK LEK. So I got this at well, I want to say I got this at Walmart, but it's perfect because it's the right kind of stickiness. It's enough to actually stick. If you hear that, it's enough to stick. But at the same time, when you're peeling it off, it comes right off and it doesn't damage the piece that you're painting. So I want to say, if I had to guess, it would be like a medium sticky because they have light adhesive, medium adhesive, and then heavy adhesive. So this is more like a medium adhesive, medium sticky, and I like that. So it's almost the same as my Scotch 3M that I use for my 3D printer. So this is the kind of tape that I put on my 3D bed, and you can see that it's quite bigger than this one, but it does have the same adhesive properties that this tape has. So if you're looking to do if you're looking to do customization of these helmets, make sure you get all the right materials. Of course, for the tester's paint, I went to Walmart and got a package of these. I want to say it came like maybe 20 brushes for like $2-3, and of course they're plastic and the bristles are made out of plastic, and you know these are ideal for using tester's paint because tester's paint, of course, is alcohol based. So once you use it, you could only clean it with turpentine or something like that, and then you could reuse the brush. But for me, I use it and then discard it right away because I don't want to keep these around. You know, I have my set of good brushes, and then I have these cheapy throwaway brushes that serve its purpose. So when I'm working with something like this, I don't want to keep that sort of stuff around. So, but yeah. So the helmet, either Walgreens, Walmart, brushes, tape, Walmart, these acrylic brushes or acrylic paints, you can get them also at Walmart. They're about 50 cents, 50 cents to $1. Um, I do recommend getting something better or something heavy bodied. I know that latex will make heavy body. I think it's basics heavy body, something like that. But anyways, there is a paint that is heavy body, which basically has more pigment in the paint rather than water. Because if you use these, you're gonna have to keep going over and over and over and over in layers, like I did with the other stuff you've seen me paint. So just kind of keep that in mind. Testers you can get in pretty much everywhere. I mean, they're kind of hard to find. Like a long time ago, I used to be able to get testers at Walmart. They don't carry them anymore, so you're gonna have to go to either Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Joann Fabrics. They might have it there. I don't know, but you really gotta search for the tester's paint. So, with that said, I think we reached a point where I have nothing else to say, which is not a bad thing. You know, it's not a bad thing. Like I mentioned before, for tonight, it's basically my Friday, my hangout. So I will be watching the new Voltron. I will be watching the new Voltron that Leanne, of course, suggested for me to watch. I will be working on this till the early. I want to say thank you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the likes and the shares and inviting people to the channel and doing all the cool things you guys do for me. Yeah, I truly appreciate it. It's really really awesome, and I believe you guys are also working on some kind of live stream or something like that. I know that you mentioned it before, so definitely send me a link to that because I would love to watch that and see what you guys come up with. I don't know. I think we lost Steve, but I just want to say thanks, Steve, for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us and kind of doing what we do. Of course, we are DIY people. We are artists. We do all kinds of cool, creative things, and by we I mean myself and everybody else who watches and supports my channel. And just know we're a big, big community, and there's a lot of us out there. So yeah, as always, if you want to promote anything or you want to tell me anything that you're working on, make sure to leave me a comment, and we'll go from there. I will have links to other videos somewhere here. I might have a little subscribe button or something like that. But yeah, until next time, I just want to say thank you. I want to say good night. I want to say have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you all really, really soon. And next week, as always, we will have a new project. Hopefully, we'll see. Maybe. Or if you want to see me cover something else, leave me comments. Let me know. And I will certainly make videos about that. All right. It's good to see you, art son. These are my art kids. I am really, really proud of you guys, man. I really am. So yeah, if you want to see other videos, click right here, hit subscribe, ding the bell, and that way you get notifications. Tell your friends, tell your family that we waste a lot of time on a Friday night right here. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you. Bye.